This video is brought to you by my loyal patrons. Pledge as little as £1 a month and I do extra videos, plus additional extras for the higher tiers. Link in the description.
Lots of ships use the harbour at the big station by the sea. The passenger ships have spotless paint and shining brass. Other ships, though smaller and dirtier, are important too. They take coal, machinery and other things aboard and bring back meat, timber and things we need. Fishing boats also come there. They unload their fish on the quay. Some of it is sent to shops in the town, and some goes in a special train to other places far away. The railwaymen call this train the Flying Kipper.
A lot of Thomas the Tank Engine's older episodes were based on stories from the Railway series. These were stories written by the Reverend W. Awdry and his son Christopher. But did you know that most of Wilbur Awdry's stories were based on real railway events? Well, I'm here to tell you just those, and today we're diving into the story of the Flying Kipper. The Flying Kipper is such an iconic story. It's well known for its major crash, and in the TV series was the first big crash to take place. When you talk about the Railway series, I feel everyone has seen that image of a derailed Henry before. Awdry was a man who liked to make sure his stories were believable, and because of this, he usually based his stories on real events. The Flying Kipper was quite a special story, as it was based on two events, and used aspects in the story from each event. Let's dive into the first one. The first event the Flying Kipper was based on was an accident known as the Abbot's Ripton rail accident in January 1876. A large snowstorm was covering the area, causing both a coal train and the Flying Scotsman Express service to be delayed. The goods train was normally scheduled to be shunted into a siding at Abbot's Ripton to allow the express to pass by. A signalman north of Abbot's Ripton decided that if the Flying Scotsman was to pass without more delay, it would be best to shunt the coal train into the siding at Holme. This was a bit north where the train would usually idle. The signalman set his signal to danger, but the goods train continued down the main line. This was due to thick snow covering the red light. Eventually, it reached its usual spot of Abbot's Ripton. Here, another signalman waved the coal train down and ordered it to reverse into the siding with a hand lamp. This is an aspect of the story we never see in the Flying Kipper. I've always thought it would be cool to see someone's interpretation from the perspective of the goods train. Meanwhile, the express train was heading down the line at about 45 miles per hour. The driver could see nothing but white snow for what seemed like miles. It appeared there was no trouble ahead, and so the express didn't slow down. The coal train had almost completed its shunt into Abbot Ripton's siding when suddenly a whistle of the express heading south was heard. But it was far too late, and the Flying Scotsman crashed straight into the back of the goods train, causing a huge accident. Luckily, it appeared no one had been hurt. After the crash, both crews decided to lay detonators on the track to warn oncoming traffic of the danger. The crash had caused so much debris that it now obstructed the northern line. The crew of the coal train and the clerk of the express hopped into the still intact locomotive that had been pulling the coal train. They decided to head down the line to warn approaching trains and seek assistance. However, the day's signalman forgot to set both signals back to danger and didn't immediately ring about the obstruction. Only minutes later, a second collision occurred when the northbound express crashed into the wreckage, blocking the line. This is believed to be where most, if not all, fatalities occurred. Days later, it was discovered that snow and signals had caused the accident, due to the ice affecting the signal's performance by weighing it down. This is where the story of the Flying Kipper slightly changed the structure, as a second train never crashes in the story. Also to note that the engine was already parked up in the Railway series events, but you can really see how similar the two accidents are. However, Awdry also took some inspiration from another story. Lichfield Trent Valley Station consisted of 4 lines, 2 through lines in each direction and another 2 loops for stopping trains. On New Year's Day 1946, a fish train was heading to London Broad Street and consisted of 7 fish vans being hauled by a Black 5. You can see here where Awdry got his inspiration for locomotive and train. The fish train was travelling roughly at 35 miles per hour. It was due to run past the through line and continue on its journey. However, once again due to frosty weather, the points were jammed onto the platform line that had been used by the previous train. This was a local passenger train, which had used the loop to stop at the station and was still waiting for the fish train to pass by. However, due to the frozen points, the goods train was diverted onto the platform line where it crashed into the carriages of the local train and hurled the engine forward by 100 yards.
The Fleetwood to London fish train smashed into a local passenger train standing in Lichfield, Trent Valley Station. 4 coaches telescoped and debris flung onto station platforms caused a death roll of 19, with more than 100 injured.
The accident also caused a large amount of fatalities, but ultimately was no one's fault. The bad weather had caused the points to jam and the signals to become faulty. And there you have it, the 2 stories Awdry based the Flying Kipper on. You can see where the similarities come from. The Abbot's Ripton accident is where the base of the accident came from, but the Lichfield crash is where the locomotive, train and faulty points came from. I hope you learned something new today, and if you've enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below, as I'd be very keen to do more videos in this style.
Come on, don't be silly, puffed Henry to the van as his wheels slipped on the icy road. That's better, puffed Henry more happily as the train began to gather speed. Thick clouds of smoke and steam poured from his funnel into the cold air, and when his fireman put on more coal, the fire's light shone brightly on the snow around. Hurry, panted Henry. They whooshed under bridges and clattered through stations, green signal lights showing as they passed. They were going well, the light grew better, and a yellow signal appeared ahead. Distance signal up, thought Henry, caution. His driver, shutting off steam, prepared to stop, but the home signal was down. All clear, Henry, away we go.
Thank you very much for watching. This video wouldn't have been possible without my loyal patrons. £1 a month and I do extra videos with some additional extras. Link in the description. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing or even leaving a like and a comment. It really does help the channel. I hope you all have a fantastic day and I shall see you in the next one.